All right, reality TV meteorologist. Here is this week's Summer House Hamptons weather forecast. So, we have a nervous tension moving in from Carl's emotional terrain with scattered congratulations and 100% chance of awkward interactions with Lindsay. We also have some clingy precipitation from Jesse's system and some cringe-worthy FaceTime conditions. We have a relationship system brewing between Paige and Kyle, some boundary setting windish swirling around Lexi and Jesse, and of course, an unexpected tornado warning from Danielle. So, for today's chit chat, we have visibility is low, but the emotional chaos is at its maximum. So, what is our recommended gear? Just the lover boys. So let's crack it open and dive in. Some ASMR. Yes. Yes, yes. Ooh, that's good.
I think there's just one more weather report. I see some showers on the way. Well, my man Imrul's getting wet out there.
Gross. That is almost as uncomfortable as Carl's congratulations to Lindsay. Yeah.
That was rough.
That was rough. I mean, like, he needed a pep talk from producers. Like, that's how uncomfortable it was for him. And as a viewer, I was like wavering in between. Do I feel bad for him? Like, what is it that I feel? And I think it's because it's just so cringe. Like, Lindsay's disinterest paired with his just like awkward nervous system going. What did you think?
He had producers on the line. He needed his priest, rabbi, whatever on the line just in case the demon came out. It was awkward on all sides. Lindsay trying so hard to act like she doesn't care, or she actually, it's probably really easy for her to act like she doesn't care, but we know she does. And her stone coldness towards him was awkward. His, when he finally decided to do it and needing Kyle to give him that push I just felt so uncomfortable all the way around.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was painfully awkward. And I think for me, I was hoping that he got a sense of relief to get it off his chest. But like, along with this relief came, at least for me as a viewer, just like a ton of sadness. It's like he might be, internally reassuring himself, like, things are the way they are because this is how they're meant to be and all that stuff. But like, at the same time, it is excruciatingly difficult to see someone, forget whether you have feelings or not, seeing someone move on in like less than a year that you guys broke up and be already pregnant. And I think the reason why I cannot sympathize with Lindsay is because she's already weaponizing her pregnancy by telling him, remember last summer when we were engaged, I said, next year I'll be pregnant. And it's just like, and she is. And there was no point in throwing that in his face. So like, whatever she's feeling, whether, she still has feelings for him or not, moved on or not, it's really hard for me to sympathize with her because that was like so unnecessary.
I said it on last pod. I don't think it's feelings for him. I think the only thing she has is vindictiveness. She wants to keep this feeling going as long as possible for how she was made to feel being broken up with on TV. And for him, he's never going to get what he needs from her. At the time of the relationship, getting that kind of empathy from her, and now he's not going to get that relief from the tension. She's going to continue she'll do it in front of everybody else. At dinner, she'll be like, thank you, Carl, for dinner. Yeah. But one-on-one, when she's never going to give him any validation of, this doesn't have to be this awkward. She likes the tension because it shows that she still has the control over him.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. There's a lot of talk online that Carl's a piece of shit because he did this on camera and apparently she was blindsided. I don't necessarily believe that that's true. And
she was blindsided by being broken up. She is crazy. How did you not think that he was going to break up with you after all this shit? And why would you expect it needs to be off camera when everything you did to him and said to him on camera plus off camera? Sorry, I don't agree. Sorry to cut you off.
Well, you basically answered my question. I was going to say, what are your thoughts on that? So now we know what you're
I got thoughts.
But yes. Yeah. It was producers clearly working overtime. It's really, sometimes it's really interesting when like, what do they call it? You break the fourth eye, the fourth
The
wall.
fourth wall, yeah.
Yeah, it sometimes I hate when that happens, but this time I was like, holy crap, like this is serious. Producers are working overtime just to get Carl to like, super relax. It was
He might have dashed because he might have left. I think he like, and not that they're trying to be mean, but they wanted to keep him there because the
yeah.
dam had to break at some point. Just one more thing on my people who get on Carl for how he broke up with her. That close to the wedding, there would have been no good way. In private, on camera, over text, in person, any way it would have been done, she would have caused all holy hell. It was just gonna happen. So it just happened to be that they were filming and he maybe finally made the decision or had the courage to make the decision that he's been wanting to make. So I don't think there was ever going to be a right way. And I think any way to a certain degree is better than actually going through with the marriage, knowing there's a mistake, and then getting divorced after. Because that's what would have happened if he didn't break it off. So let's move past it. He's not a piece of shit.
No, not at all.
She is not the one for him, and that's all I'll say about her. Because I won't say nothing too bad about on the show. At least expecting Money to be, but that's all I'll say.
Yeah. Interestingly, to make things a little lighter, I do not like whatsoever who Jesse Solomon has evolved into. It's cringe for me for a few reasons. One, he just looks, he that's not a good look. And I get it. It's a lot of drinking involved and a lot of, the alcohol is talking. I get it, but it's not a good look. Two, I feel like it's deja vu for me. It's like, oh, I already saw this with all these other guys on Summer House. Most recently, I saw this with West, how he was like super obsessed with Ciara, couldn't get off of her, couldn't stop thinking about her. And then when things changed on her terms, or she wanted things to change on her terms, it's like they become a different person. Listen, I get that he had cancer. He's a cancer survivor. I don't know what stage he was diagnosed at, but he's stage 5 clinger right now. And he needs to chill.
It's interesting, and like, so we're covering 2 episodes here. So one, he has the smile, which I know that's what you're talking about. This every time he flashes the smile, you're like, okay.
Sorry.
Some people like the big smile, some people don't. So we've watched 2 episodes, and I already see it going down. Like we saw the second episode where it's like going up and up and up, and he's excited. He really is smitten with this girl. He's saying these funny things like, oh, I think I have a girlfriend, or I think I'm in love. He likes to chase. He's like, oh, this is, to him, it's a shiny new toy. He wanted to chase. And then the third episode, they sleep. I'm assuming at least they slept in the same bed. Who knows how far it went?
Yes, that's what they were insinuating. Some kind of intimacy. Not sexual, maybe, but there was definitely a little more intimacy.
Definitely got a couple of bases there. I already see in his eyes the commitment, the monogamy, the meeting the parents. He's taken it in a good stride, but I already see him thinking, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, it was the chase. He was like very excited for the chase of this new girl, very beautiful, who's into me, and now it's just like, I don't know. He did the right thing. He brought the flowers to the mama.
I mean, like, you've known her for like not even a month.
But you can, when Lindsay and Danielle were asking him about it, you could see the regret in his eyes. Like, oh, what am I getting myself into? So
the thing is, like, you can't, and I'm not saying that he's giving mixed signals, like, oh, he wanted to get engaged and like she took it seriously, but it seems very emotionally immature and inconsistent, and like he wants control with no accountability. It's like, why is it okay for you to set the pace and the intensity and the whole thing for the relationship, but as soon as she asks for something, it's like, oh my God. Like, what did you think was going to happen when you're saying, oh, I'm in love, oh, I'm in a relationship, I'm not single anymore? Granted, he was joking, But come on.
He wasn't thinking with the brain that you think he should have been thinking with, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to keep it a little lighter. Yeah, no, he got too excited. He got too excited too quick. And then she like the the reality of what she wants started to come out, which is she said, I'm a boyfriend type of girl, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
relationship type of girl. I'm not a casual hookup person. And he's like, shit. So I don't know how it's gonna work out. Like you said, this is in a long line of guys getting with a girl in the house and it causing drama all over the place. We saw it with
Mm-hmm.
Carl.
Jordan, remember Jordan season 3? I think he was season 3 with Danielle, and he looked like he was full of Botox, and he had like, you have to remember Jordan. He
Yeah. I was thinking of, but this might be winter. Um, Andrea and Paige. Like, just even if it didn't go anywhere, it's just like the awkwardness of that happening. And then West and Sierra,
Yeah, no,
even
it's
Sierra and Southern Charm dude on Austin,
Austin.
plus
It's a
Lindsay in the mix.
pattern. It's a pattern. And you know what's funny is that like I feel like West is trying to warn Jesse, kind of like, I've been in your shoes not that long ago. You gotta chill. But Jesse's just
Take it
like,
slow.
it's like, what's it called? It's like a new toy syndrome, is what I'm trying to call it. It's like, I got the shiny new toy. But Wes is like eyeing him, like, yo, you gotta chill.
Sierra and Lexi, they're not exactly the same, but they both kind of said the same thing. It was just like, don't do this if it's not gonna go anywhere. Sierra was a
Hmm.
little more like mean about it. Lexi was
Hmm.
like is a little more kind of free spirited with it, but it's kind of yeah. We'll see because it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting Jesse to be so turned off by Lexi setting some kind of boundaries, because when they went on their date in the city, he was like, oh, I want to travel more, but I want to travel. I can't travel without a girlfriend.
No,
So I think,
that was the drunk talk on the couch after the
but
party with his hand
okay,
under
that
his
was,
shirt. Where I was just like, okay, you're just
nah, they're both a hot mess. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay. So can I let's break this down. Let me ask you a couple of questions on who is the Lulu here. Okay, on that date in the city, right? She's like, well, I guess it's insinuated that he had to talk to some girls and break it off.
Hmm.
Who's in the right and who's in the wrong of asking for that or doing that?
I think if she asked him to do that, then she's in the wrong. And then if he did it without her saying anything, then he's also in the wrong, because it's, you can't have it all these kinds of ways, because if he's cutting off relationships, it's signaling her like, okay, this is a safe space where I can say what my boundaries are going to be. Now, if she asked him to do this, then it's like, wait a second, y'all just met not even a month ago.
Well, she asked 3 days ago.
Well, I'm
Like,
trying to give him the benefit of the
no,
doubt.
no, no, no. There's no benefit for doubt. There's no benefit for doubt. It was 5 days once they went on their date, and she said there's no if we're gonna try this out, there's no
Right.
sleeping with other people, which he
Right.
took as okay. I gotta waive some people on the roster. Like in basketball, when you waive a player, it's like
Mm-hmm.
sorry, off the team.
Yep.
So, but you think that she shouldn't have set that expectation?
Not so soon. Absolutely not.
Okay. So then the next one that I'm gonna break it down for you might be even worse. She said,
Oh
"Stop
God.
commenting on your friends saying
All
this."
right. I had a big issue with that, because she comes across super confident, super like, I modeled, I dated all these like famous guys, which she has, which is great, good for you. But you're not that confident. It's just like, these are his friends. You might not understand the dynamic of his friendships, but like, to make him stop doing something he's always done and nobody else has a problem with it, it's like, I could see where it's uncomfortable, but y'all just met, man.
Well, I do want to give her a little bit of bail because it's like she did say yes, I'm a model, but she seems pretty humble. It's like, you know, I got picked on. I never saw myself as better than anybody. So she is aware that there's a perception. I still, but that's as far as I'm going to go. Come on, man. You don't come in and start getting in between. Like, he's built these friendships over a year,
For
and
sure.
this is how they all interact. And you're now setting boundaries for him over his friend. It's one thing to be like, I'm not sleeping around, so I don't want you to sleep around. 5 days is pretty quick, but that's why you don't sleep with somebody on 2.5 days.
Yeah.
And then
Allegedly.
if you have these
Allegedly.
expectations.
Yeah.
But this Instagram rules type stuff.
Nah. She
It's
crossed
too
the
much.
line a little bit.
They're
Yeah.
both doing too much right now.
They are both doing too much. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see. I don't know if it's gonna go good.
I couldn't bet my life after episode 4, we're going to see less of them together and more of him with other people. Now,
No. I think he's gonna juggle. I think Jesse using that clown smile, that like wide
excuse.
is gonna be juggling respectfully in a good way. It works. The clown smile works, boys. In this
Yeah,
way, it's performative. That's what I mean to say.
totally. It's totally performative.
And he's gonna be juggling.
I can't wait to see that. Lexi's friend Bailey, she's still not getting enough airtime.
I don't think. I think she's going from housemate to friend pretty quick. Is the rumors online that
There is, yeah. There is some drama online. I did not go into the rabbit hole of TikTok and like trying to put all the puzzle pieces together. So if y'all listeners, please create some kind of video, tag us in it, letting us know, Spark Notes, what the issue is. Apparently, she wasn't invited back. She got cut off mid-season. I don't know why. I really don't know the details, but I wonder if if the producers had to go back and like edit her out now of a lot of these
I don't
episodes.
think they had to do a lot of work because he didn't do so much these first couple of episodes. And so, okay, she made me think of, so in this last episode, she was going down the slide having fun at the party. It made me think of this show called I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. There's a sketch where he's on like a dating show, like The Bachelorette, and he's one of the contestants. The Bachelorette sends him home, and he's like, "Why?" It's be like, because all you do is use the swing to jump into the pool. Like they show footage of him, and all day he's just like
Oh my
going from this
God.
on the swing over the pool that drops him in, and that reminded me of her. Is like, are you just here to go down the water slide? Like, talk to somebody, please.
Yo, I'm dead. Poor thing. But her bangs stayed put, which I was like super impressed. How do you do all of this work?
Yeah, okay, give us the hair routine. We need to know.
Give us
It
the
won't serve me
routine.
much, but
The next relationship dynamic I want to get into before we get into the juicier stuff is Ciara and West, right? So going back to Carl and Lindsay, I guess they brought him back as the housekeeper slash maid for this season because he's like cleaning up, making the dinners, prepping all the stuff, getting bagels in the morning, running errands. But that night when they have the dinner, Ciara brought the Traitors energy in. And she was like, yo, West, you are a motherfucking traitor. Speak now. Defend yourself. I lived for it, okay? I was like, yo, Wes is a little bitch. Like, say something. Give me a Temu apology. Give me something.
he did the right thing. Just be quiet, let her vent. She needs to get this anger out, and then go talk in private and apologize in private, and try to
No, sir.
wash the beef in private.
When you make something public, it's gonna be public. Because now you're trying to
How do you even? They're both on reality TV. He didn't make it public.
listen, there's a lot that we didn't see. It's not just what happened on Summer House. Like they hung out outside of it, met families and all of that. And then he made their breakup public before she even knew it was a thing. Okay? And now she got feelings about it. She has every right to put it in a public setting. You don't get to decide what's going to be private or not, especially when you didn't have the decency to do it for me.
Listen, And she can say everything, and she should say everything she wants to get off her chest. And then he has to just take it and not feed into it. It's just gonna make it worse. And then we can chit chat while you're getting your makeup done, while you're doing your makeup before the party. That's exactly he did the right thing. He didn't say the right things because it's not his forte. He's not good with confrontation. He knows
Don't
that. So
listen. Don't start nothing. Ain't gonna be nothing.
he didn't
Okay.
start anything. I would say it
Oh
was
my
kind of a
god.
mutual thing
How can you defend him? I
because you know why? Because the prophecy will be fulfilled. By the end of this season, like I said, they will become the friends that they were and should have stayed at the beginning of last season. Fun, full of antics, full of jokes. The prophecy's coming. Watch. He ain't gonna be worried
listen.
about how he felt about her by the end of this summer because the way she was complimenting Carl.
I listen. I would love to see that rehashed. I would love to see it rehashed. She needs somebody that's calm. That's like the complete opposite of what she's going after, like Austin and then West. Like, nah, fam.
She wants to go live on the farm with the love of her life. And Amanda, right, was the one that said, "Do you think you've already met this guy?" I think she has.
I
He's there. He will be the farm boy that she's looking for. Go live on the quiet life on the farm.
Yeah, I mean, I hope her and Carl explore something like that. Did you catch though West when West was driving in the car with Paige and I think Amanda? He was like wearing a bandana with a hat. You look so dumb. It's like you're not invited to the cookout. Stop trying so hard, man.
Listen, it's protective headwear for that beautiful head of hair.
Is that what it is?
It's I don't know. I'm just like the West protector over here. It's
I
really
know.
tough. I'm taking all these shots.
Clearly. No, no, no. Clearly. I wonder how you're going to defend this new guy, Emerald. How can you defend Emerald? He made his debut. It was very loud and proud and
Mhm.
wet and blue balled, but he made his debut.
So he did. He's an immigrant. Shout out to the immigrants out there from Bangladesh. And he's living an interesting life. He's living his life to the fullest. And he said if people like it, they could take it or leave it, he said. Right at this point, I'm gonna choose to leave it for a little while.
Leave it. I want to run away. I want to run away. Like,
Listen,
come
no
on, who's
kink shaming.
casting?
No kink shaming if you want to go to these orgies, but I don't need to hear it. So I'm good. I don't
Nah,
need to hear about
especially
what.
when this is like the first time you're meeting people. It's like, I wonder how they sort of eased into that conversation. I mean, he seemed very eager to talk about it as some kind of flex or some kind of, I don't know. The vibes are not it for me.
He's
He's,
given,
he's,
like you said, he's given like those Jordan. There was a guy, Aman, I think that came on the show that come on a little too strong, all about the women, all like that's not the flow, bro. That's
yeah.
not.
Historically, it has shown that usually those type of people do not get invited back. So I'm interested to see what he brings to the table. And Kyle didn't really say much about him. He's like, oh, some guy I know, whatever. Okay. Like, I'm sure you have more interesting friends than that.
Listen, he got the last 7, 8 minutes of the show, so I'm choosing to leave it for now. But we'll see. We'll see if he turns it around.
Well, did you see Danielle's face light up when she saw him?
Stay away, Danielle. Stay away.
Shout out to Danielle. I mean, like, I a few episodes ago was talking, a lot of shit about like she should stay out, whatever. But it brought me back, and I'm like, oh, Danielle, like I actually miss you. I actually like prefer you over Gabby because first of all, I didn't even miss Gabby this episode. I don't even think she was on it.
Talk about airtime. 2 episodes, like less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, and the only time that we see her, she's following Lindsay around the house and like talking shit about Carl. But like, what did Carl do to you for you to hate him so much? Nothing. He's done nothing to her. So she can kick rocks. Bring Danielle back. Sign the
Danielle
petition.
back.
Yeah.
We just need to support Danielle in her decisions and kidnap her and put her back on the show. because with the little bit she had on TV, it was perfect. First of all, she's the only one who checks Lindsay on her bullshit. When she's like, "Are you gonna have a brand reveal with your gender reveal
A sponsor, a sponsor.
sponsor?" Like chef's kiss, no notes. Like, yeah, that's the type of humbling Lindsay needs sometimes. Of you're doing too much, and Danielle's good for that. But she also works on her own. You know, she's just like just a one of the best kind of like interviews on the show when they're kind of like talking about what's going on. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I was happy to see her. It was really refreshing to see her on. And who knows? I think she's gonna be on more episodes because she gets her own confessional. I haven't seen house guests that come for a day or whatever get their own confessional. So yeah, Danielle.
I'm just still confused. She said it was nice taking a break, and I'm like, it's been one weekend, Danielle. Like, what break? But we'll see. I guess she won't be there every weekend, but hopefully
Yeah.
it's enough episodes where we don't miss her too much.
Yeah, totally.
She looks good. She looks good
She's
too. New haircut too.
new haircut. She's like working on her fitness. So, I mean, although she didn't need to lose weight, it looks like she did, but she also like toned up. So, this break that she took clearly did her very well. And I'm happy to see it.
Keep her away from Imrul.
Oh, 1,000%. If she goes down the rabbit hole with him in the same way that she did with the guy from Winter House, which I forgot
Alex.
his name,
Alex
Alex.
from yeah, Below Deck.
My God.
Same vibes. Same vibes. These
Heck no.
guys who just float through life, you know. Yeah.
Mm-mm. No, thank you. Keep them apart. The other two that need to be apart is Paige and Kyle. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. I don't know why this is exploding right now. Like, what is it that I missed? Like, I knew Kyle didn't like Hannah and also didn't like Craig. I know that part. But Paige has been such a team sport. What is it? A team spirit, a team player. Paige has been such a team player that I didn't realize that there was some underlying issues still. I'm happy to see it. I also think I'm happy to see it because Kyle needs to be called out on his shit. Okay. It sucks though that he's in a position where, or Paige is in a position where she has to check one of her best friend's men. But Kyle should not be rage texting Paige. Amanda needs to check that because he's expecting Paige, because she's involved with both Hannah and Craig, to fight his battles. She's guilty by association, and that's not fair. You have a problem with Hannah, you have a problem with Craig, you don't have a problem with Paige. It seems like he's barking up the wrong tree.
It's a shitty situation, to be honest. I don't know how I feel about it. It's tough. I'm gonna put myself in Kyle's shoes a little bit because I don't like Hannah and I don't like Craig, and I probably never will. Hannah on the show was toxic, and I think she brought out the worst in Paige, to be fair. But if they're good friends, that's on them. Didn't like Paige much when Hannah was there, and like her a lot more now. And I don't like Craig, especially after on Winter House when he's like, "I'm not cleaning up. I'll hire people to clean up."
Yeah.
And like that just told me everything I need to know about that guy. So when Hannah keeps talking shit about Kyle and Craig does something shisty where he goes kind of, he's free to do his partnerships. That's Kyle ain't paying his bills. He's free to do that. But if you consider him a friend, you say, "Hey, I have this opportunity," before you sign it, or like you don't let him find out through back channels like a different way and try to bullshit him. And that's what I'm pretty sure what Kyle's upset about most is that Craig bullshitted him. So that's where Kyle's at, like these two people who kind of do him dirty. And you have Paige, who is like her allegiance is with them. So should he go at her for that reason? No. But or the feelings are there is like, damn, you're like, your dude just did me dirty and I thought we were friends, and your best friend keeps talking shit about me publicly. I don't know what you do with that information. He obviously chose to voice it. It's kind of why we like Kyle on the show. He is sensitive too. And at some point,
Super. Yeah.
you just got to like either accept that or don't. most people do. And he did apologize. He's self-aware to apologize. I just don't know what he does with that information. What would you have done with that information where somebody you think is a friend and is heavily associated with people who keep kind of fucking with me?
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, he's in a tough spot. I think, I don't know what I would do, but I know what I wouldn't do. And one thing that I wouldn't do is just like rage text someone. I would have like a straight up honest conversation. And the thing is like, Paige is also upset because she feels that Kyle doesn't support her. He doesn't go to her events. He doesn't support her like Amazon Live stuff. He doesn't support any of the stuff that she does.
Has she ever asked?
Well, I don't know. But she was saying how much she supports him because she drinks the lover boys and she does all this. Yeah.
Well, don't get it twisted either. They're at the party. She's gonna drink them. Like, but if he's asking, hey, would you mind coming out to this event for Loverboy? It'll be,
But I think she does it more because of Amanda, not because of Kyle.
Her saying she only does these nice things because of Amanda, to me, is weird.
That's my perception. I feel like if
she kind of said as much. Like, he's lucky he's with Amanda.
Yes.
Otherwise, I would never associate with him.
Yes.
And I don't... Does he actually know that? Like, that you don't like him? And that's kind of weird to me. Like...
Yeah.
Like, that's that.
Do you think that he is overstepping some kind of boundary? My issue is the rage texting. I feel like it's to sit there and like...
There was one text with profanity. There was one text with profanity, and it was at 9:30 a.m. For most of us, that's a normal hour, so it's not like middle of the night. So already there, I think the way she reacted is sensationalizing it a little bit, overblowing it a little bit. Do I think it was like uncomfortable for her? 100%. Which is why he should think twice before he texts. But do I think it was rage texting? There was one, and it wasn't like you're a bitch or anything like that. It was like, this is fucking insanity or something like that.
But wasn't it like super long message? I guess that's what I mean by rage texting. It's just like, for you to keep up the level of anger to write such a long... I know for me, like if I'm that angry and I'm texting, halfway through I'm like, I can't even... This level can't even hold up anymore.
From what she showed, it was like 6 texts, but they were all kind of like short, straightforward texts.
Yeah.
That's what she showed. And if there's more, but...
Yeah. And the other thing is like, if she respected Amanda as she like so much as she says she does, I would have this conversation with Amanda. Like, I feel like having it with Ciara, I get it. She's another one of your best friends. You're going to have it. But at what point are you going to go to Amanda and say, I have this issue with your husband and I'm going to address it this way? Or is that even necessary? Does she owe that to Amanda?
I keep going back to the fact it's like, why put Amanda in the middle of it? The same way Kyle shouldn't have put Paige in the middle of his beef with Craig. Why is Paige not going to put Amanda in unless she's saying, well, I'm not really friends with Kyle. I don't know if he feels the same way, and he's probably reaching out to you because in the messed up way, he feels like you're a little bit betraying me as a friend because you're very supportive of people who are against me.
Well, I just think that I think like she's going to be in the middle regardless. She's going to be in the middle. Like no one's asking her to pick sides. She's going to feel like obligated to do so. But for me, it's more like, don't blindside your friend. Like you are having an issue she's having an issue with Kyle, who's Amanda's husband. I don't know. I just feel like she'll be blindsided. If they start some kind of argument at a party or something, she'll be like, what is happening? She could even add some perspective that Paige might not have or that Kyle might not have. Be the voice of reason. I don't know. Like, I would feel blindsided if, like, one of my friends started arguing with, like, my husband. I had no idea that there was an issue. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Okay, but then if Paige feels like I should talk to Amanda before I talk to Kyle about what Kyle did, that's kind of what Kyle did to Paige, where she talked to Paige.
What?
Maybe not the right way, but... He talked to Paige before or like instead of talking to Craig.
I mean, most of the time it's 90% how somebody says something. It's not what they say, it's how they say it. So if it comes disrespectful, it's not going to be productive. It's going to go left.
Again, I didn't see it as disrespectful. To be honest, I didn't like those texts. The way she said them, and then when she showed them, I was like, that's not really rage to me. It was like more upset and more emotional, like in Kyle's way than rage. And I think what upset her more is being put in between and having to answer for the things that her friends do, and she doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And she doesn't want to have anything.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
Well, then she's throwing out this thing that Kyle had Hannah fired.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, their beef. In that situation, I would tend to believe Kyle more than Paige, because Paige has a history of spreading rumors.
And sensationalizing.
So now she's saying Hannah should be mad at Kyle because Kyle got her fired. Mm-hmm. So now you're justifying it with something that I don't think is true. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Also, like, Paige doesn't want to have anything to do with Craig. I hate every single confessional she's in. She's just like, I'm so busy for him. I'm so like, why is your flex you like stringing somebody along, leading them on this whole time? Like, why is that something to be proud of? Like, we can all see how you're not that into him. And you've been saying that for the last 3 years. I was sort of giving her the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, she's establishing herself. She's busy, whatever. Cool. She was not that into him. It was for show. It was to make herself look great. She wanted to get that Southern Charm money because even though she wasn't a cast member, she was on it. They would show her with him when she would visit and stuff.
I don't watch that shit. But did you see how she played him when she was like, he wanted to move in, me to move into his house? Like the first time he texted me, I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was never that like in love with him. Am I going to go as far as say it was a romance of convenience for her? I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, what was convenient about it? They were flying back and forth constantly. Very convenient.
If you're not really into a guy, but you're making a lot of money from that, long distance is the way to go. Mm-hmm. How did, like, if they're in a relationship, she knows that he just did this deal with a different competing brand with Kyle's. She knew that. Mm-hmm. She knew it was going to upset him. Mm-hmm. She knew at some point it was going to become a thing. Mm-hmm. So to be this like aghast that he got upset and rage texted her, it sounds like she was waiting for it and getting ready for it and had all her little comments like, I could buy Loverboy and take it away from you.
Please.
Yeah, with Craig's money.
Please.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need Paige to get a different storyline once she breaks up with Craig. Let's see something new. You need something other than being in bed making fun of people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. She's getting kind of boring. I'd rather have Danielle back full time. I would trade Paige and Gabby for one Danielle. I would. Especially Gabby. But yeah. Any final thoughts?
I might even even though I didn't like her, I might trade her for Hannah just to fuck shit up in the house.
Facts. Oh my God. Straight up facts. I don't even know if Danielle and Hannah get along. I don't think they not get along, but I don't know how close they are. But that would be amazing. Fuck. I would trade Gabby, Paige, and Amanda for Hannah and Danielle.
Okay. Relax. You're giving away too much in that trade. Come on.
Nah, just kidding. I like Amanda and her big old titties.
Hey.
Cutting that out. It's the lover boy talking.
Ain't getting cut out.
No, but honestly, shout out to Amanda for creating a beautiful bathing suit line. I think it premiered already. Like they're for sale and everything, and they look great. This is something that she's been wanting to do, and Kyle finally let her do it. He was pissing me off. So yeah, shout out to her.
Shout out to Kyle on his DJ debut. So proud of him. I'm sure the vibes are immaculate. I'm ready to go
Listen,
lover boy style to one of those parties.
whenever I see him DJ, I get reminded of Tom Sandoval because Tom Sandoval thinks he could sing. And so
We
it's
know
like
he
this.
can. After the Traitors, we know Tommy can sing.
Anyway, yeah, just a random thought. So, all right, Summer House Junkies, that is a wrap on another crazy, wild episode. Before we sign off, I'm going to do a quick Who Won the Week lightning round. Okay, so there's two categories, the honorable mention and then the drink of the episode. Spoiler alert, the drink of the episode will always be Loverboy. But the honorable mention for this week is going to go to, drumroll please. There you go. Danielle.
Okay, so she won the episode with 5 minutes, 5 glorious minutes.
5 awesome minutes, okay. Especially the part where she sees the ultrasound picture and she's like, did somebody get you that? Hilarious. She won the episode.
She knows that was cringe. Okay, I mean, I got to throw out secondary honorable mentions. I think Jessie is doing a lot, and I'm here for it. I want to see where this goes. Lexi is a pleasure, but she's going to be girlfriend from hell pretty soon.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think, but Danielle's a worthy choice. More than worthy.
Yeah, I knew you would agree. So next week, same Hamptons, same time. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on all our social media channels at Matches and Mayhem.
Bye.
Bye. And our big old titties.